Hey there guys, this is a post-recording of the gameplay because the mic settings were messed up and everything, but I'm restarting a Pokemon Emerald version playthrough. This, unlike the other one, which was a randomizer and I lost all the data to it so I can't continue with it, is going to be a pure Emerald playthrough, but possibly Nuzlocke. Well, you know, it is a Nuzlocke. I know that because I've recorded this already and this is afterwards. The sound's a bit messed up at the moment because, well, I recorded it. The next recording should be fine because I've adjusted mic settings because I got a new mic. But yeah, pretty much in this, if you don't know what a Nuzlocke is, it is, to put it shortly and simply the way I'm playing it, you have to catch the first Pokemon on every new route. If it's the same as one you've already got, you don't catch it and go to the next one. If a Pokemon faints, it's classed as dead and you have to either put it in the box or release it completely. And I think that I'm just going to put them in the box because A, I don't think I could release them. I don't think I could have the cold-heartedness to release them. They're my babies. And B, because I've thought about it, if I cannot get past, say, the third gym, that's Watson's electric gym, if I cannot get past that and all my Pokemon faint, then I will just go to a normal playthrough, but continue the section of the Nuzlocke where it's catch the first Pokemon on every new route or every new area, because like caves and other places like that count, like the Mirage Tower in the desert region. That will count separately, or for me it's going to anyway, that will count separately than the actual desert resort. Now I'm just trying to find things to say, because I was talking all through this bit of gameplay. I was reading out what the people were saying in voices, so you've missed the voices because I couldn't figure out the mic settings before recording. But yeah, this is hopefully going to be a Nuzlocke all the way to the end, hopefully. I don't think I'm going to do any restrictions. Ooh. I don't think there's going to be any restrictions on healing items. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be using any items. I'm a bit stoked up now. Ignore this bit because it's a turd. Quite frankly, I can't be asked to edit that out, to be honest. So yeah, I'm a bit iffy because I paused then to go into different things. I set the time to my current time, which literally, as I did it, turned 4 minutes past 12. I have also, although it hasn't got to it yet, I made a decision to give specific nicknames to all of my Pokemon. And those nicknames revolve around my friends in real life, or people I know in real life. And I had a very, very tough decision on one of the nicknames. And my starter one was, well, pretty much clear. Because of the sound not working, you have missed out on my brilliant female voices. And my American accent for May, even though I made her mum and dad really stereotypically British, like a really posh British, and I'm trying to think of more stuff to talk about through this entire thing. But yeah, I'm most likely gonna keep this as a Nuzlocke because well, fingers crossed, touch wood, It shouldn't it shouldn't fail, but knowing what I'm like with really bad luck, and when it comes to training the Pokemon, I get bored easily in terms of training, so don't train them enough. Then they're under leveled, then they get KO'd, and yeah. So that's a bit of a pickle. But anyway, it should be a Nuzlocke throughout the whole thing. If my team dies before Watson, I will just carry on without being a Nuzlocke, with just the catch Pokemon, the first on the route rule. But if I manage to get further than Watson, if I get further than Watson and then I die, I might just call it there. Because for my first Nuzlocke, yes, I have never done a Nuzlocke before, not even casually. For my first Nuzlocke, it will be an achievement to get at least 3 gym badges, in my opinion, just because of the actual fact that it's catch the first Pokemon on each route. So if I get past Brawly, I'll be happy, due to the fact if I don't run into a Tailo, or I don't know, if I don't run into a Tailo or an Abra or something good against fighting types, I'm screwed. At this point here, I was thinking of what Pokemon to choose. Mudkip is probably the best, which is why I'm hovering over him now, saying that, or I was saying that. And then I moved on to Torchic next, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah. Move on to Torchic, and I said about how whenever I choose Torchic, I always struggle with the Psychic Gym. The Psychic Gym really does cause me troubles, therefore I probably won't choose Torchic. And then Trico is my favourite of the 3 starters, which is a little bit biased, but I don't pick Trico because I wanted to make it a bit random, because Mudkip's also really good. So I decided to do an eeny meeny miny mo. Right, so if a squirrel's let it go, eeny meeny miny mo, O-U-T spells out. Torchic's out, and then eeny meeny miny mo, catch a piggy by his toe. If it squeals, let it go, eeny meeny miny mo. And it landed on Trico, so I chose Mudkip. Yeah, it's very difficult to do that out of time. So we got Mudkip to start with, which means that if we get past Brawly, Watson should be simple. It should be very simple because of Marshtomp learning Mudshot, and Mudshot just completely KOs Watson's team. So yeah, in terms of the Pokemon's nicknames, I'm choosing friends from real life. So if they watch the video, some of them might know why I called the Pokemon after them, and others might be like, what? But people that don't know me won't get the backstory, but if my friends watch this video, they will understand completely. And in terms of when it comes to nicknaming, I will explain who or why I named after him in particular. But here is a brilliant one. Mudkip. I got to nickname him, and I decided, this is what I thought at the time, first Pokemon, my first friend, and still my best friend, is Jordan. So I decided that I would name I don't know how long it took me to explain, my first and best friend from my whole life has been my friend Jordan. So I decided, in honor of Jordan, I would name my starter Pokemon Mudkip after Jordan. And, well, I thought I'd also, for a bit of pizzazz, add an exclamation mark on it, because why not? So, the whole training of the Pokemon, I might do in between episodes, or if it's training for an upcoming battle that I know is coming up, or training for an upcoming gym, I might record it, but speed it up. And I mean speed it up a lot, because I'll probably be using the in-game speed up, but because I use it here. But even with the in-game speed up, grinding of Pokemon's levels still takes a long time. And also, in terms of the Nuzlocke, I do not count these first upcoming routes, because I am yet to get Pokeballs. Therefore, I haven't technically got an encounter on that route yet, or the one above when I go to May. So, through this whole linear section from the from the Pokemon Lab to May, all of the grass in between that, I'm not counting. And if you didn't know, you talk to the person by the house, and she will give you a potion for free. Just like in every other game, there is, like in Fire Red and all that, there is a person in an apron standing in the middle of the first route that you enter, and you talk to them, they'll give you a free potion. But in terms of the actual grinding itself, I may put a restriction, because I may search for the gym leader's level and set a restriction, although I know at the end of this video my Mudkip is, I think, almost level 11, which is pretty much at the limit for Roxanne, almost. And, well, I still need to use Jordan. This was a scare and a half. Flipping Jordan almost died on me instantly. But I need to use Jordan to use the sort of Pokemon switch method to train up the other Pokemon that I catch, which, just an informant, I catch 2, because one of the routes I completely derp out and forget I'm doing Nuzlocke. So I encountered like 3 or 4 Pokemon and killed all of them, including the first one that I ran into. I really need to make sure that I get this recording smack bang first time next time, because I'm having to talk non-stop due to the fact that there is no game sound either. No game sound. I have none of my prior commentary, which I can't remember what I said for majority of it. But May's got my Trico. Jordan, kill it. There we go. 69 XP. I'm trying to think of what I said at these particular points, because a lot of the time I was reading out the actual speech, and I would do that again, but starting halfway through the video isn't exactly gonna go right. Pretty much just May showing her undying love for me. No, but if you think about it in terms of Emerald, I'm not sure about the other games, because the other games, well, I suppose X and Y a little bit, but that's with the third trainer. But with May, there are so many things towards, like, the people around trying to hook up you and May, or you and Brendan, depending if you play as the female character, because it's like, oh, I have a daughter, or I have a son the same age as you, they really would like to meet you. It's like, okay, that's not creepy. Where'd it go? Yeah. So there's a lot of moments where it's almost like they're trying to hook you two together, which is kind of weird. And I do remember this bit because I made a little joke. Well, not a joke, but a statement joke thing. That when May comes over, she's like, "Oh, Craney, you got a Pokédex too?" It's like, "That's great, just like me. I've got some of you too." It's like, "You had my balls. I wonder where they got to. Your faith." And I was going to steal yours. But yeah, each of the videos are probably going to be about the length of this one. But I'd probably say, if I'm going to actually put a number limit on it, somewhere between 25 and 30-minute long episodes, unless the recording buggers up. Because if the recording buggers up, then I don't know what I'm gonna do, because this is really awkward. And, well, to put it bluntly, when there's no other sound, it's really, really weight on my shoulders. Yeah, running shoes. Zip 'em on and run as fast as lightning. My speed up button does the same. Now, this bit's kind of creepy. It's like, if anything happens, you can come home. Not if they die. Go on. Go get 'em, honey. Okay. A bit too enthusiastic, Mom. But yeah, as you see there, got Pokeballs. I don't run into a single Pokemon there. But it's here. It's here that I completely derp up. I'm just like, haha, XP. I completely forget that I'm even doing a Nuzlocke at this point. I'm literally going around to see what Pokemon I find. And I think I run into about 3 Poochienas and a Zigzagoon. So nothing too special. Nothing I was interested in, luckily. Otherwise, I probably would have tried to catch it and caught it. And then would have realised, crap, that wasn't the first Pokemon. And I'd have had to have released it. And but I think it was at this point where I was like, oh crap, I totally forgot I'm doing a Nuzlocke. And then I was like, oh, get out of the way. Killed that Pokemon, went and healed up, and then I went back to the 2 prior routes, the one up by where May was, and Route 1, to catch a Pokemon. No, I didn't. No, I faced this trainer first, then I did that. Yeah, I remember. You're an official Pokemon trainer. You can't say no to my challenge. Not if I hold you at gunpoint. Ha ha ha. Then you won't challenge me. But yeah, I might have to, if this does occur again, I may have to find music. Some uncopyrighted music that I can put over very lightly in the background for when I don't talk. Even if it is literally just the Pokemon Emerald's like theme song, which hopefully that shouldn't be copyrighted. Shouldn't be. But this was my encounter for this route. It was a Poochyena, a female Poochyena. So I was like, okay, female Poochyena. Who of my female friends would I call a dog after? And I was like, well, it's a dog, so it's going to be kind of offensive. I was like, it's female. A female dog is known as a bitch. So anyone that really knows me will know why I decided to name this Poochyena Shannon. And, well, if she watches this video, hi! Nah, she loves me really. It really freaks the hell out of me and scares me to death. She's more scary when she loves you than when she hates you. It's really weird. And my encounter for Route 1 was a dupe, so that doesn't count. The actual encounter, a level 2 female Wurmple. Now, this was the Pokemon that gave me trouble. Not because of catching it, yeah, it took me 2 Pokeballs, but I didn't lower it down enough. But it was the whole, it's a female, it's a bug, what the hell, or who do I even nickname this after? And I was here for about 2 or 3 minutes thinking, who do I nickname this after? Because there was the dilemma. Because if this Wurmple evolved Silcoon Beautifly, I was contemplating, if I knew it would evolve that way, to name it after someone that me and my mates have spoke about, saying that like in middle school or whatever, they weren't that good looking, and then suddenly in high school now they're just like, wow, they're actually really good looking, or like they're really hot or whatever. Or there was the dilemma, is if it turned into a Cascoon and Dustox, which would then sort of imply, holy crap, they were ugly, and they still are. But I couldn't think of who to name it after, so I think at some point around now I just give up, and yeah, I end up naming this Wurmple a female Wurmple after. So I couldn't really make the decision due to that dilemma, if it went into Dustox or if it went into a Beautifly. So I ended up just thinking of one random girl that I know in real life and just going, okay, yeah, just choose that name. I'll choose that name and I'll go with it no matter what. So I called the Wurmple Penny. And again, if she somehow sees this, I'm sorry. I couldn't think of anything else at the time. My mind goes blank when it comes to thinking of names. So we do train up Penny a little bit, because we do the whole swapping thing. So send in Penny, call her back, and send in Jordan, who cleans everything up, and Penny actually obtains a level. So yeah. So I now actually swap Penny round into lead, so that if she gets full XP, ran into a wild Pokemon here, which is still the same route, therefore it doesn't count for a new capture, so I had to kill it. And then there's this other trainer battle, which he implies I'm a beginner. I'm sorry, if I'm doing a Nuzlocke, I'm evidently not a beginner, because I doubt there are many people that go fresh into a game and go straight into a Nuzlocke. Because, well, if you did that, you'd have to be very, very ballsy, due to the fact that Nuzlocks require knowledge, because you need to really know what's coming up. And, well, if it's your first attempt at the game, a Nuzlocke isn't going to be very easy, because you are going to be very unprepared, unexpecting, unless you read around it and find out what level the gym leaders are, like what their Pokemon are even, when you run into rivals. But then it's not, if like a blind Nuzlocke, it's literally just becomes a sort of a Nuzlocke with expectations. And honestly, I was scared here, because if that Shroomish went for another Absorb, Jordan would have been down, and that would have been me screwed for the first gym. But luckily, it used a tackle afterwards, and I managed to win. And then another Pokemon decided to show up here, and I don't know why I risked it, but I threw Jordan into the mix again, and he comes close to dying again. If this is going to be what Jordan's like for the whole series, I am going to get heart problems. But basically, yeah, those were the some of the dilemmas I had during the episode. I end the episode right here outside the Petalburg gym. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave any suggestions or anything, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.